It is 6:30 on the dot this morning here on Up with KREM as the coronavirus vaccine, of course, a huge step forward in vaccine technology. But today we'll tell you the latest on one company's efforts to expand its use. And March Madness has sure lived up to its name this weekend. This morning we'll highlight the moments everyone is still talking about today.
And of course, we're going to take you outside. Wet roads this morning as snow tries to fly. I'll let you know where that snow is sticking.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, the Gonzaga women are playing their first game of March Madness today. You can catch all of the highlights of their first game right here on KREM 2. The 5-seeded Zags are set to square off against the 12-seeded Belmont. The favorites in that game, the favorites for all of us. Looking forward to just more Zags victory today, Jeremy, especially with both Zags men and women playing today.
Yeah, we could definitely see 2 Zags victories today, which would be kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty fun, but it's March Madness. Nothing is guaranteed, as we have seen.
Oh my gosh, Oral Roberts, the 15 seed. Crazy. It's crazy. I love it.
It is so crazy. And it's one of those ones where, you know, going in, I filled out my bracket. I took Gonzaga, went all the way down to the championship, and I thought, done. Easy. Your boy's taking this one home. And all of a sudden I'm going, oh, all right, guys, come on. Come on. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, of course, we want to thank you all who've been writing in this morning, letting us know how much better your brackets are than ours here. So keep doing that. Text us 509-448-2000. We can take it. We can take it, especially, Jeremy, yours isn't too bad.
No, I'm sitting at second place in the old office right now. Brandon, I'm coming for you.
There you go.
Coming for you. Today could set me up quite lovely, but it's going to be difficult once I get to the Final Four, so. Not nervous. You're nervous. I'm not nervous.
Well, is this going to be the kind of game where people are going to be inside, glued to their TVs with the weather outside the way it is?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's this is March. Like, welcome to March in the inland Northwest. If I could sum it up in one way, it's that, you know, we were warm, then we saw those rounds of showers move through, a series of fronts move in, and now temperatures starting out quite cool, and we've got a little bit of rain and snow coming down early on today, depending on where you are. If you're downtown, it's all rain. It's just too warm there. 34 degrees is where we sit comfortably early on this morning. So it really depends on where you are as to what you're seeing. We're at 34 here in Spokane, 32 in Coeur d'Alene with a little more snow coming down. Same up in Sandpoint where we're expecting enough to maybe bust out the shovel and dig yourself out. But here for us, well, it's the wind that's fighting that accumulation. So when it comes to that wind, it's expected to stay strong for the next few hours as the snow is trying to fly. And with wind out of the south and southwest, it's likely a bulk of that snow stays out. Even if it does start accumulating, it does start accumulating. There we go. Got it. I think really it's those higher elevation areas around town, and it's not really going to work its way onto any of those roads. The roads are just too warm after our stretch of warm weather. So really it's not enough snow to do much more than give us a little bit on the grass and then move out and rain to return later today as temperatures climb. We're close to freezing this morning, but by this afternoon, we're in the upper 40s, and that's warm enough to melt anything that piles up in low elevations today.
I'm looking at that 11 o'clock hour. That's just like sit on your couch, watch the Zags, keep it on to watch KREM 2 later.
You know, it's the great dine out right now. There are plenty of options where you can get something to join you on that couch. Maybe like 10 different takeout boxes from me.
That is Jeremy's pro tip of the morning, I would say.
Oh yeah, there you go.
6:34 right now. Happening today, a strong focus on anti-hate. Governor Jay Inslee will join community and local leaders in speaking out against hate and recent attacks on Asian Americans in our state and our country. They're expected to speak at 9:30 this morning in Renton. Meanwhile, hundreds of Spokanites showed up this weekend to rally against recent acts of Asian hate and violence. This is following the shooting rampage in Atlanta that left 8 people dead, 6 of which were Asian American women. People shared their experiences right here in our community.
I turned into an aisle with another woman, and she was talking on her phone, and she said into her phone, "An Asian woman just walked into this aisle, I'm going to die of corona."
Around 200 people gathered last night at Riverfront Park for a candlelight vigil in remembrance of the victims. Meanwhile, dozens of people also rallied over the weekend in Edmonds, Washington. It happened along Highway 99. Yesterday, Caitlin Chung, who works with the Edmonds Diversity Commission, says our Asian American neighbors need allies to reach out and get educated about racism in the community.
It's not a new thing. It's been happening for quite a while. And I think a lot of people don't know that it's been happening and don't know the fact.
Our sister station in Seattle reached out to Edmonds Police to find out what's being done to help the Asian American community. A spokesperson says they're aware of some anti-Asian graffiti, but no assaults. Still, they say Edmonds Police are taking hate crimes seriously. And the department's community engagement team has been working with the community. Rallies were also held in California, Oregon, and Arizona. Meanwhile, this morning, an Illinois senator is calling for a deeper investigation into the motive behind last week's deadly shootings at 3 Atlanta area spas. She told Face the Nation that the rampage, which left 8 people dead, including 6 Asian women, looks racially motivated. Authorities say they have yet to determine if it is. 6:36 now. There could be a 4th COVID-19 vaccine available soon. That is because we've received new data just out this morning showing that a vaccine developed by AstraZeneca is 79% effective and 100% effective in preventing hospitalization. The shot is already widely used in Europe, and AstraZeneca says it is now preparing to submit its findings to the Food and Drug Administration for emergency use. And of course, while we're talking about it, the coronavirus vaccine has been a massive breakthrough in today's modern medicine. Now, one company thinks they can use the same technology to fight another disease. Let's connect the dots.
The team that used advanced technology to create the revolutionary coronavirus vaccine says they will now use the same tech to create a cancer vaccine. Let's connect the dots. Scientists at the German company BioNTech, working with Pfizer, used a messenger RNA technology to create a widely used COVID-19 vaccine. The idea behind mRNA is not new. It basically trains the body's immune system to fight disease. But this was the first time an mRNA vaccine or drug have ever been approved for use. Both Moderna and Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccines, which use a revolutionary tech, have proven effective. When coronavirus started spreading worldwide, BioNTech was already working on an mRNA vaccine, and they quickly pivoted to use what they had learned to create a weapon against COVID-19. The original vaccine they were working on, it was for cancer. Now that its COVID-19 vaccine has been successful, the company's profile and value has risen, giving them much-needed funds to help develop that cancer vaccine. BioNTech's founder says they have several different cancer vaccines in development, and they could be done in a couple years. They use the same idea as a COVID-19 vaccine, using a messenger RNA to tell the body's immune system to fight a specific disease, in this case, a tumor. Now that we know that technology works to stop one killer, it may be used to stop many more.
Well, it's been a crazy couple of games in the first round of the March Madness tournament and the first half of the second round. This morning on Speed Feed, we're taking a look at the moments everyone is still talking about. Starting with first, the 15-seeded Oral Roberts pulling off the upset of the day. Might end up with the upset of the tournament, knocking off Ohio State in overtime. That one's for you, Jeremy. The Golden Eagles led by 7 in the second half before Ohio State came back to take the lead with less than 2 minutes left. It just wasn't enough, though. Oral Roberts came back in stunning fashion. Jeremy is dancing. Hey, who else is dancing? Sister Jean is stealing the show in Loyola Chicago's win. Sister Jean became a March Madness icon back in 2018 during Loyola Chicago's first big tournament run. The Ramblers, though, like I mentioned, dancing again. So is Sister Jean. She actually watched Loyola Chicago beat Georgia Tech soundly, 71-60. And Brad Davison is lighting it up for Wisconsin. This one's also for Jeremy. In the first round of the tournament, get this, he came into Wisconsin's tournament opener against North Carolina, averaging 9.4 points per game. Okay, Then he went on to score 29, leading the team to victory. But of course, yesterday Wisconsin fell to Baylor, 76-63. I think that's a dig from our executive producer, Jeremy. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Why'd you have to throw that in? Listen, Delaney, you can take your Texas schools and go back to Texas.
I will say this though.
No, stay.
Baylor spent majority of the season undefeated.
That's true.
For any of us that didn't have Baylor going this far, myself included, I think we're just eating a little bit of crow this morning.
You know, I actually did have Baylor beating Wisconsin, but I changed that last second, and I was like, Ohio State loses first round, hate them. Wisconsin goes all the way, and then I had to go back and erase and be like, all right, maybe Baylor wins against Wisconsin. So that didn't break my bracket, but my hate for some schools helped out a lot.
I mean, the matchup we all would love to see and we deserve to see, I think, is Gonzaga versus Baylor, with Gonzaga winning.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Durr.
Now
that Illinois is out, I kind of need that to play out for my bracket.
Yeah. Well, I'm not invested in your bracket. I'm just all Gonzaga now. I want Gonzaga versus like a 15. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Well, still ahead this morning, while we're talking basketball, Hoop Fest director Matt Santangelo joins us live on the show this morning. We'll talk to him about Gonzaga's high-scoring first game and plus what he thinks the team needs to do to win it all.
Focus. That's my pro tip for them. Also, coming up, we're going to talk weather and what you need to know as you head out the door on this Monday morning.